Good day, students. Welcome to biology class. Today we'll be looking at the topic nitrogen cycle. My name is Chikwe Joy Odegene. The objective of this topic is that by the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe nitrogen cycle, give ways in which nitrogen can be reshuffled in nature, explain the composition in nature, give the process of decomposition, and also give the role of decomposers in nature. Now let's look at nitrogen cycle. Now in the previous class we talked about nutrient cycle. We said that nutrients, it is the circulation of nutrients, various nutrients from one organism or in the ecosystem. So nitrogen cycle is the pathway along which nitrogen moves through living and non-living components of the ecosystem so that same atomic nitrogen are used over and over again. Now looking at this diagram here, this is a diagram of a nitrogen cycle. We're coming back to this diagram later. Now nitrogen involves the complex process by which nitrogen is naturally added and removed from the soil. So we're going to see how this nitrogen is added to soil and how it is removed. Nitrogen cycle involves the complex process by which nitrogen is added and removed from the soil. So we're going to see how this nitrogen is added to the soil and how it is removed. Let's look at nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation involves soil organisms such as bacteria which add reasonable amount of nitrogen to the soil. Now let's look at ways in which this nitrogen can be reshuffled in nature. Okay, for us to know how it is fixed in the soil and how it can be reshuffled. Number one way is symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Symbiotic nitrogen fixation. Now when you talk about symbiotic nitrogen fixation, it's talking about the word symbiotic is a mutual understanding, a mutual relationship between two organisms where both of them benefit from each other. So this nitrogen fixing bacteria is what is known as Rhizobium leguminosaureum. This particular rhizobium is found at the root nodule of leguminous plants. That is where it lives. So it's found on this plant. It helps that plant to fix the nitrogen in the soil. And on the other hand, what the soil do for it is to give it shelter and also provide carbohydrates for the plant. As we can see in the diagram here, this is a leguminous plant. Okay, the nitrogen fixing bacteria lives at the root nodule of this leguminous plant. So they help to fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. Another way for nitrogen to be reshuffled in the atmosphere is through electrical discharge. Nitrogen can also be fixed into the soil during lightning and thunderstorm. During lightning and thunderstorm, nitrogen in the air combines with oxygen. There is nitrogen in the air. It combines with oxygen to form what is called nitric oxide or nitrogen 2 oxide, which further undergoes oxidation to form nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen 4 oxide or nitrogen dioxide form will dissolve in the rain to form what is called nitrous. What is called nitrous and nitric acid. Nitric